It was Texas, it was Tennessee. It was what I had coming to me. Howdy, folks. Thanks, Lucero, for that. You have arrived at the Texas to Tennessee podcast. My name's Steve. Up top, that's Soul Gravy. Welcome in, Soul Gravy. Good to see you.
Yep.
Had a big day today at work.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, they made me work at work today.
Yeah,
Very
well,
rude of them.
unacceptable.
No.
Folks, thanks for your patience. I know we're a couple minutes behind, but we see you out there on YouTube and Facebook. If you haven't subscribed, especially on YouTube, we would greatly appreciate it. Tonight, we are very excited to have one of our friends on. His name is Dustin Massey. Welcome in, Dustin. Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Hey guys, stoked to be here.
Yeah, we're fired up to have you, man. I think what we'd like to do, maybe to get started, is have you just give a little bit of your background. Anything you want to share with us for the folks that, for whatever reason, may not be familiar with you. Let's give them a little bit of background.
Yeah, man. Fort Worth, Texas resident. Grew up in Granbury, Texas, and kind of always wanted to play music. Huge fan of the music scene. You know, everything from Ragweed to Stoney to Wade and Randy and all them growing up was great. And uh, other than that, kind of grew up on BB and SRV and the blues. So that was kind of my first love of music, was the Texas music scene and blues. So was mostly like a kind of an athlete growing up. I'm a tall guy, and then went to college, played a little ball, and then ended up in Colorado. Went to Colorado State, and then around 2018 had this big idea that I was gonna quit my job there that I had got out of school and move home to try to pursue a music dream in the scene I grew up in. Had never really told anybody I wanted to do music, so it was you know, impulsive to some, and moved home and kind of got it going in 2019. It was really cool, and then 2020 happened, and some stuff happened that year that kind of derailed our momentum, and then we got back at it in 21, and 22 was just like some of the most fun I've ever had in my life, playing music all over the place and all over the country. And then had some life stuff happen, and kind of just I didn't completely shut it down, but have played a little bit less since then, and now starting to get it back going again.
Great. Well, tons of material. I'm super excited because Soul Gravy always tells me, well, he told me if I join as a co-host on the podcast that I get to talk about sports.
Okay.
So
That's
fired up
true.
about that. Yep. We never talk about sports, so I'll have some questions for you there. But
Love it.
Granbury, Texas. This is the section where I get a quiz Soul Gravy on famous folks from your hometown. Feel free to jump in at any point. Granbury is a city in the county seat of Hood, Texas. As of the 2020 census, population of about 11,000. Granbury is named after Confederate General Hiram B. Granbury. Fortunately, Soul Gravy, I did not ask you that question. So,
Okay.
are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. Well, here it goes. Lita Andrews.
I'm not ready. I'm not familiar.
Lita is the winningest high school basketball coach in the United States.
All time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Obviously, amazing teams out there. So shout out to Lita. Next up, Bill Garrett.
I'm not familiar with Bill.
Mr. Garrett, William.
No. Only
William,
Levi.
pretty well-known PGA golfer.
Okay.
I want to say from the 50s and 60s, maybe. So a little bit old-timey. Shout out to Mr. Garrett.
Right.
All right. This one's going to be a little tougher. He was not born. To be fair, I'll give you a little bit of a hint here. He was not born in Granbury, but lived in Granbury. His name is Peter Mayhew.
don't think I'm familiar.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay. All right.
Does that
He was
help?
Chewbacca.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
Chewbacca.
All right.
Thank you, Dustin. You get an assist on that.
So I have a
Uh,
funny story about that
oh,
that
what?
happened recently with
Feel free to
Chewbacca.
share.
Okay. So there's a guy that we work with that's from Haiti, right? He's 70 something, and I love the guy, right? So he called to tell me that something was not working on the air conditioner, and I was like, well, I'll be there later to look at it. And he's an electrician, not a heating and air guy. And
Right.
he's like, well, just tell me what to look at, and I'll look at it. And I was like, okay. And then I started. It's like, well, check this and check this, and he said, ho ho, slow down, I'm a Wookie. So, because he has this really thick
Yeah.
accent, right? And so
You got it.
like the rest of the time, I'm like doing the Chewbacca yell
Yep.
and everything, and he doesn't understand what I'm talking about because he could care less about Star Wars, which makes it, not as
Even
funny.
funnier. Yeah.
Well, Andy's kind of big. He's a
Oh,
big dude, so it
is he
all.
furry?
No, he's not very
No,
furry.
not
No,
furry. All right.
no,
All right.
no.
Well,
But shout out to Sonny. He's one of the coolest guys
shout
ever.
out
So,
to Sonny.
yes, sir.
I feel like Sonny. Well, we'll talk about that later. All right. Andy Parker.
I'm not. Sorry
Also
for
not.
hijacking the thing. I'm not familiar with Andy. I don't think.
Also not born in Granbury. Actually born in England, but he
Okay.
resides in Granbury.
Okay. I feel
He
like I
was a.
should.
All right.
Go
Don't
ahead.
bring me down.
He was the Beatles.
That's
No,
Don't Let Me Down.
Don't let me down.
that's
That's right.
close. Yeah, you're
Sorry.
in the ballpark.
Don't bring me down.
Yeah.
I don't know. That
All right.
song.
Yes. So
I
he
can't
actually is
remember.
the drummer for English rock group UFO. How about that?
Okay. Okay.
Yep. All right. Let's see. I think I gave you an ELO song, so that doesn't even make sense. All right, Johnny Perkins.
Not familiar.
Johnny played football for the New York Giants.
Okay.
They named the high school football stadium after him.
Oh, oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Shout out to Johnny. All right. Shorty Rollins.
That
Shorty.
sounds like a baseball player, but I don't know.
It does sound like a baseball player, but not. What other sport would you benefit from maybe being a little bit smaller? And don't say jockey.
Would you benefit from being smaller?
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure.
Shorty's a race car driver.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Gene Stevens. I feel
Sorry.
like there's a chance you might get this one. Otherwise, we're going to go pretty much
No.
over the
No.
night.
No, I want to keep the streak going. I don't know.
Gene Stevens was an outfielder for the Red Sox, White Sox, Baltimore Orioles, and the Kansas City Athletics. That's twice
Okay,
in
so
1
he
week
was.
that the Kansas City Athletics have come up.
Yeah, so that's back in the day a little bit.
A little back in the day, yes,
That
sir.
was in the 1900s.
Robert Williamson III.
I'm not familiar. I don't
Bobby
think.
Will is a pretty well-known poker player. Grew up in Granbury. He's a specialist in the game called Omaha. Have you ever played Omaha?
I've never played it, but I know what it is.
Familiar? All right. Well,
That's also
folks,
a signal that Peyton Manning gives.
it is, yes.
Change.
Also a town in Nebraska. Shout out to Omaha. All right. That was Granbury, Texas. Thank you very much for your patience, Dustin. I know that
Yeah.
was painful, but we'll look to do better tomorrow. Tomorrow's, well, I can't tell you where tomorrow is,
That's
but
okay.
tune in tomorrow, 8 o'clock. You'll find out what the town is. Alrighty, Dustin. This is the weirdest question we're going to ask for the evening, I think. It's called the pie question.
All right.
Musical pie. We're going to divide it up into 4 sections. Those 4 sections are songwriting, recording, performing, and then everything else that is not one of those 3 things involved in the music business. So, which of those pieces of pie, I guess, do you enjoy the most?
Performing. I think
Performing.
performing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Uh, when did you know that? How did you figure that out?
Um, I think I spent, uh, I don't know, since I was probably like in middle school or high school, like messing with instruments and like writing and stuff. And I did that, but I never let anybody know about it. I was like an athlete, and it just, I don't know, for some reason, it just seemed like not the cool thing to do. And I was good at sports, and so, you know, insecure, tall, lanky kid growing up, I just like, let me lean into that thing that people are saying you're good at, and don't test the waters with this other thing.
Sure.
Um, so I was basically I was terrified to let anybody know I wanted to play music, let alone like I wasn't going to play music for anybody or sing or play guitar or piano or anything. So I would say it comes from spending like 10, 15 years like dreaming about it and not doing it, and then finally once when I was in Colorado, like playing some open mics and some things, and like just being like, nobody's gonna like this, but I'm just gonna do it anyway because I got to do it. And then being like, people acted like they liked that. They're all full of shit. I'll try it again some other time. Maybe somebody will be honest with me. And then after a while, it was like, okay, maybe I don't like suck at this. So I think it coming last and then like getting over that fear then made it such a joy to be like, wow, that weight's gone and like I can do that. So it probably would take the cake is the performing aspect.
Yeah, and cracking the seal is the hardest thing, right? Like
Yeah, for sure.
I know Soul Gravy's talked a little bit about this, so I don't know if you want to hop in here, but just
No.
okay. No,
No, no. I mean, I'm just a bar guy or whatever. But yes, it took forever to finally not care what everyone else was, what I thought they were thinking,
Hmm.
and just do it for myself. And then when I did, you found people that connected with it for one reason or another. It's the odd thing. Once you get out of your own way, things get easier sometimes.
Yeah, I always tell people like, you have to be on a really big level for people to tell you you suck. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna get. You could. Steve saw us play at Dan Silverleaf. There had to have been somebody that was there that was like seeing us for the first time opening for Zach, and they probably were like, you know, they weren't like, oh man, we've got to follow Dustin. We love this. They probably just, it was whatever. Maybe it wasn't for them. They're not coming to the merch table afterwards to tell me I suck. The only people who are coming to talk to you are people that are like, hey man, we really enjoyed that.
yeah,
You got to be on. Somebody's yelling at Ko Wetzel telling him he sucks, and he does not care at all. And
yeah,
he also knows he doesn't suck, or he wouldn't be where he's at. you know.
for sure.
So,
That makes
um,
that makes sense. You have to get at a certain level before people
yeah.
feel the need to yell that out or to say it behind a keyboard.
But it's just like there's almost everybody's like scared to do that thing, and like the cool stuff's always on the other side of scared. So like once you do it, it's like, okay, if it's not for somebody here, it's not like, you know, they're gonna give me shit about it, or it's not gonna make anything not okay, you know,
Hmm.
and you just might be good at it and keep doing it.
Man, one of the things I dislike the most is when people come and say, "Oh, that should be a song or that should be a T-shirt," but what you just said right there kind of feels like
We'll start
everything
writing that
cool's on
song.
the other side of
Yeah.
scared. I mean,
Uh,
that's
Yeah, there you
pretty
go. I
solid.
was
Yeah.
thinking more like, uh, I'm not big enough for some people to tell me I suck yet.
Okay, we could start there. Yeah, fair enough.
That can be the bridge.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, very cool. All right, so I don't want to say eliminated performing, but what comes next out of songwriting, recording, and then all the other
Man,
stuff that you have to do to run your business?
I'm sure everybody says that they love it all because I do. The If that fourth square, that's kind of all the other things that I would imagine is like the emails, the social media, all that. Like I don't like it at all. I'm sure a lot of people are that way.
Yep.
Um, you know, um, when I'm really pushing songs and stuff, I feel like I'm on my social media and my promo stuff. But when I'm not, I'm not. I'm far from a content maker that's just gonna year round be making content. I'd say second is probably songwriting because the single best feeling period in music as an artist to me is when I finish a song and I'm like, that's ready to go to the studio. This is studio ready for a producer to then help me change some things and get it ready. But that feeling is, you know, you write songs, you know, that's kind of the eureka of it. Feeling like I was able to kind of say that's done. I've given that my best. It is going to be what it is. And then after this, I can be proud of it, and then people can decide for themselves if it's for them. So that's probably second, and then third would be the studio. I've had a lot of fun in the studio. Have really enjoyed it, and that's because I've got to work with like incredible musicians, incredible producers at incredible studios, and you know, would love to wish I had unlimited label funding that was just like putting me in the studio for $50,000 budgets once or twice a year. That'd be great. Yeah. But as much as I love it, I'd say that's number 3 in the ranking: performing, songwriting, and then the studio. And those 3 are far and above all the rest of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Well, I'm going to work backwards a little bit. Recording wise, we don't talk about this a ton, but I'm curious how you go about finding the right person to work with from a producer standpoint. Like, how do you know? All right, this is the person that's gonna kind of help me get this where I need to go.
I feel like I fell into it each time that I've done it, and it was like kind of perfect at the time. The first producer I worked with was Beau Bedford, and it's funny. My manager, his name's Ryan. He has Goldtown Music. He asked me yesterday. We were looking at some different things we submitted for to play on, and he said, "Man, you like Jonathan Tyler, right?" I was like, "Yeah, man. Like that's a huge moment for me was seeing Jonathan Tyler open for The Departed in Stephenville, probably like 2010, 11, 12, somewhere in there." And I remember being like, holy cow, this is crazy. I thought like Cross Canyon Ragweed was the southern rock side of the Texas country scene. And I just saw Jonathan Tyler, and that might as well have been like Aerosmith coming out of the Texas music scene to me at that time. It blew my mind, and it just like stuck with me that his Pardon Me record is just like all of their music, the Northern Lights. It's just great. So I'd always kind of carried that with me because I felt like my writing lent itself a little bit to like the bluesy rock side of kind of like the Americana or whatever. And I met a guy named Phil Hamilton, who was from Burleson, DFW area. I think he lives out in New Mexico now, and he was real cool to me and gave me an opportunity to play like my first couple of shows. I said 2019 I got started, but it was really like in 2018 I was coming home and trying to figure out, am I going to move back to Texas? Like befriended Phil, and he had me come. My first like show, the first show that somebody like paid me money to go play music was opening for him at the Mule Barn in Justin, Texas. Yeah. And it was really cool. So it just so happened like Phil and I, like he befriended me and kind of like helped me out a bunch. I got to go on his tour bus. That was so cool. I'd get to go open for him and ride on his tour bus. And I'm like, I've played 2 shows in my life and I'm on a tour bus. This is really cool. I'm about to net I'm going to net $30 by the end of this trip, but
easier than people said.
Yeah, it was just cool. They were real cool to me, and his band was cool to me. It was a guy named Austin Woodrow Morgan who has played for so many people. He's an incredible player, and he was really good friends with Jonathan. So we're sitting on the bus, and I'm kind of like playing this. I was like real proud that I had some songs that like weren't just strumming like a G, E minor, C, D kind of chord. Nothing wrong with that by any means. Yeah. But I kind of wanted to be able to like play up and down the neck and accompany myself. So I had this song called Black-Hearted Woman. It was like kind of a cool riff. And I was like, man, I'm going to show him this. He said, play me something. So I did. And Austin was like, dude, that's dope. Like you need to get in the studio and record that. So him and Phil knew Beau Bedford really well. And they kind of reached out to Beau for me. And so I ended up in the studio with Beau Bedford at Modern Electric for the first time I'm ever in a studio. And I don't even like realize at the time exactly who I'm in the studio with.
Right.
And I ended up playing that song for Beau and like 2 more. And I'm just sitting in there, and there's like, yeah, well, if they're gonna call me and tell me you should come and play, this is where you should be or whatever. I didn't realize Beau was like behind Jonathan Tyler and the Northern Lights, was in the band, started the Texas Gentlemen,
Right.
Paul Cawthon, all these guys, and it's a cool moment I'll never forget. It's still getting over this fear. I'm like shaking, getting ready to play for Jeff and Beau, who own the studio, and I'm like halfway through my first song, and they started laughing at me. I'm like, you got to be effing kidding me. And they were like, man, you're like so scared and you're great. Like, this is awesome. Like, you don't even know what you're doing. Like, let's like cut a record and stuff. And I was like, whoa. And so that was like a big moment for me. So it was just like, yeah, obviously I'm going to use Beau. We cut an EP of 4 songs that I actually never released. And then through that, Beau had the Texas Gentlemen, and a guy named Philip Creamer, who's out in Nashville, who has his band Creamer, and Creamer or Kramer, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's his band, and he was like his brother's in the Texas Gentlemen. He's the keys player and singer. These weird connections. I got out there and I got to go record. I wanted to take a trip to Nashville. I was meeting Beau out there to do something, and I ended up staying with Philip and recording at a home studio out there in Nashville with oh my gosh, rest his soul. Well, I'm blanking all of a sudden. He played with Dwight Yoakam forever. Lead guitar player.
Pete.
Pete
Um,
Anderson?
no.
No.
I am embarrassed right now.
Oh, it's okay. You're good. We'll look
No,
it up. No problem.
I gotta find it real quick because he was incredible. And then Keith Gaddis. Why was that name?
Oh, Keith. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Keith. I mean, I've never forgot that name in my life until right now when I had to recall it mid-story. But
of course.
so I got to record at Keith's home studio, and we did these three tracks for like an EP I released at the end of 2019. We cut them live there. We cut YouTube videos, and they're there. And Keith's accompanying me on that Black-Hearted Woman song that I was telling you about. So it's like I fell into recording with Keith and Philip out there, and then I ended up coming back and doing my album with Beau because I was like, I kind of just wanted to have like a live, gritty sound to it. That's what happened, and then the way things flowed to doing my next songs ended up with Josh Serrato. Well, I'd known Josh and Ben, not like close friends or anything, but I'd known them for a long time because if you're in your 30s and grew up in this scene, you loved Six Market Boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
And like,
Not my 40s, but still.
I had to go record with him at some point in time, and they were like very cool about wanting me to come out, and that was an incredible experience. And on all this stuff, I got to use my band that I've done the majority of my touring with. So that was also really cool. Literally on everything I've done so far, it's like all been the same guys. So
Nice.
yeah, that's kind of how I don't know. It wasn't like I had I've been in the studio and like released 3 different projects, and all 3 of them, there was never a time I was weighing the pros and cons of who I was going to go to. It just kind of happened as my I'm doing music story kind of unfolded.
Yep. Well, a couple quick little follow-ups to that. I was lucky enough to get to hang with Jonathan this weekend. He opened up for Mickey and the Motor Cars.
Oh, that's right.
It was
Granada?
great. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then Soul Gravy, you know who Keith Gaddis is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
El
I've never
Cerrito
met him,
plays like everybody knows
Uh-huh.
that. So yeah, anyway. All right. Well, that's all I have. You're up, Soul Gravy.
Man, I'm never going to let myself down that I forgot
You're
Keith's
good.
name for a second.
Yeah, all good. I forgot
My
own name
relatively
earlier, so
new
we're good.
Keith Gaddis song is Reconsider. It was another one that
Mm.
Charlie Roberson cut
Hell
that
yeah.
I've recently, within the last 6 months, really been digging that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't ever heard that one, it's a great one.
Dude,
Uh,
Keith's everything Keith has ever touched is
Flash.
incredible. I mean, talking about Mickey the Motor Cars, like them, Reckless Kelly, Wade Bowen, Dwight Yoakam. I mean,
All
just
of it.
everybody. He told me when I was in there, it's a cool Keith story. He said, I've played every kind of venue you could imagine, and nothing will ever be cooler in music than playing sold out 300 to 500 capacity rooms. He said that's the sweet spot. And he was like, if you get to do that one day, like, you know, a lot of people who are eventually are doing that are surpassing that. He's like, just soak that in, because that 500 capacity sold out crowd is the one you want.
Because you can still hit a merch table. You can still live
I
your
mean,
life a
I think
normal.
the feeling, right?
yeah, I think you're on stage and there's just like it's packed, sold out Magnolia Motor Lounge when it was back where it used to be. You know what I mean? It's that feeling of you can't even get in the door and everybody there wants to hear it, and you could see everybody in the crowd. That's a cool thing. But I don't think anybody's turning down, AT&T Stadium with Morgan Wallen or anything like that.
Fair enough.
So I'm a big Grizzlies fan,
Okay.
and we
Shout
got
out
a
to the
draft
Grizzlies.
coming up tomorrow night,
Yeah.
which I'm gonna have to pay attention to while we're recording a podcast. Rumors are we
What pick
may
do y'all
draft
have?
a Colorado State. I think it's 14th. They got it
Yeah.
in the Desmond Bain trade a few days ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, and the rumor is they're getting who knows about the rumors, but they want the Colorado State
Dude, they love
Nick
Colorado State players.
Nick Clifford, and then they had David Roddy a couple years
They
ago.
had Roddy. Roddy was
Big
my
body,
guy. Yeah.
big body Roddy. So
And didn't they have the kid? So didn't the kid from Colorado State go to Tennessee and then got traded from the Lakers to Memphis for a couple days, or was that Charlotte?
I'm not sure.
Charlotte still have a team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, sorry, Charlotte.
They got
Fans that watch the
I think one of the
podcast.
Ball brothers is on their team.
To be fair,
They're not relevant.
people in Carolina are probably asking the same thing.
Okay,
Do we
alright.
still got a team?
Right.
Yes.
That's my fault. Sorry.
Well, they were, there, then they weren't, and then they're back again.
Yeah,
And,
all right.
I mean, it makes sense. I understand. Valid
Thanks.
question. And also, not so shout out to Colorado State. I'm pretty sure they put the Tigers out of the tournament this past year. I think.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. But
the Memphis
anyway,
Tigers. Yeah.
That did happen.
yeah. Okay. Well,
Nice.
we, to be fair, we were just glad to be there this year. So
I mean, I was scared to death. We should have beat. I can't remember who we lost, but the last couple of years when we made the tournament, I was very stoked.
Yeah.
understood.
Very exciting.
Completely understand how that feels. All right, so I'm curious. You were doing the open mics things in Colorado when you were still in college. How did you? There's got to be a story there as far as getting from Colorado State to playing gigs in Fort Worth. How did that? How did you make that happen from an open mic in Colorado?
It's a good question. There's all of these things in my music life have. It's as if I look back and it's like there's like these dots that were going to be connected, and it's just what was going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've told this story before. I two things happened. Two big things. One, I had my mother text me out of nowhere something about, did you see such and such on Facebook? I had my Facebook like deactivated when I was in Colorado. I didn't want anything to do with Facebook. I had like no social media. So I got up there, or I remember sitting down at my desk and be like, okay, I'll activate my Facebook to, I don't know, look at something my cousins posted or my aunt or something. And when I did it and it pulled up, the first thing on my feed, hadn't been on Facebook in forever, so like, okay, I'm gonna do some creeping and some scrolling, and might as well just see what's going on in the feed. And it was like at the very top of it, and it was a guy named Luke Wade, and Luke had posted. Luke had been on The Voice like the season prior and done well. He'd gone, I don't know, pretty close to the finals. Shout out Luke. He just his project now is called The Young Tones. He lives out in LA, and he just released a new track today that's really awesome. So if anybody knows
Very
or
cool.
is a fan of Luke Wade music, go check out the Young Tones and their new single. But I saw this status from Luke, or I don't know, is it a status, Facebook status, where it was like, I'm going to be taking on some songwriting students for like songwriting lessons. If you're interested in this, click the link and fill out this form, and I'll, if you're selected, I'll send you an email and we'll chat. And I remember clicking on that, and I filled it out as I was sitting there, and I get done to like submit it or whatever, and I just clicked out of it. I was like, he's never gonna. I'd seen Luke perform a couple times in DFW, like when I was like in high school. He played on the Granbury Square once, had like a horn section and everything. It was like cool. And another time I saw him play with Josh Weathers. So like I was, I didn't know him. I was just like, he didn't have time for me. Clicked out of it, went to another room or something. It stayed in the back of my mind. It was like driving me crazy. I was like, F it. And so I like walked back hours later and I fill out this thing and send it to him. And literally the next day he texts me or like emails me or something. I'm like, what the hell? So ended up, doing like this little month or 2 month like songwriting thing where we'd have like an hour Skype call a week, and I would have homework, and he would give me like a topic, like write this is the sentence that we're going to use, or the word, and then I'm going to write a song and you're going to write a song, and then we're going to break these songs down together, and we're going to like finish songs and like see how different our songs become just with this one idea. We did that for a few months, and then Luke was coming. He was coming home to play a show at the old Fort Worth Live above the Redbird Saloon and down there by Sundance Square. And he was like, "Hey man, I know you go back and forth to Texas. Are you going to be in Texas?" I absolutely wasn't going to be in Texas. I lied. I was like, "Yeah, I'll be in Texas. Why? What's up?" And he was like, "I was going to see if you're going to be there when you want to come open for me at this show I'm going to play." I was like, "Yeah, dude. I was already going to be there." No, I bought a ticket like the second we got off the phone, and I flew home and I opened for him. Really, I was first of three. It was kind of like I think I played 30 minutes, and then Chris Watson was actually opening for him. Chris is incredible. Um, and it was like I would say it was like my first real gig back here, and I played for free or whatever, scared to death, and I probably played 5 songs. Um, but that's how I got back to playing like the first time in Texas after doing a few open mics, doing some writing with Luke, and then I had took like this soul searching trip where I quit my job and then I drove over like 10 or 12 days or something. I went from Fort Collins up to Montana, over to Seattle, down to Boise, up to Seattle, to Portland, down the coast. And then I met Luke down in LA and stayed with him a couple days and played some like open mics out there with him. So my real segue into being like, I'm going to go back to Texas and play music was like accidentally brought on by a friendship with Luke Wade in 2017 or 2018.
You never really went through the 3-4 hour bar gig
No, I
phase.
didn't. I didn't. I was very, very lucky to. I did a little bit, like I remember like shortly after that, I moved home, living with my parents in Granbury. Super cool. I make fun of myself for that a lot on stage. I have songs about it, but um, I did like early on 3 hours at like Fred's, like Fred's Burger Joint. I did a couple things like that, but I think during doing that, somebody was like, "Hey, you need to figure out a way to like make money and not make music be the thing that makes you the money if you want to quickly get on like the support shows and the things you want to do, because you got two options: make money so you can go lose money in music, or make money in music, which means playing 4 to 5 nights a week and the things you probably don't want to do, so that you can hopefully 1 or 2 nights a week go play the things you do want to do." And so I got a real estate license, and I started hustling real estate, and um, did that so that I could hopefully get on pretty quickly on a lot of cool support opportunities. And when 2019 rolled around, I kind of just I skipped a few steps, and I always kind of knew like was out kicking my coverage for sure, and it would in some way come back around where I would have to like repay some dues that I didn't have to pay. So
Interesting.
Yeah, makes sense. You would eventually have to pay them.
yeah, just maybe like in a different way, but
Understand?
it went how quickly it went from I'm scared to play shows, I'm gonna go wait until this open mic night is completely over and people are leaving and asked to be able to play 2 or 3 songs, to I'm playing a sold out show with at Hanks with Reckless Kelly, was like 2 years, and that was I don't know that was deserved or anything like that, and eventually that little bit of luck and momentum starts to kind of like come down, but surely uh, won't ever apologize for some really cool opportunities early on.
Yeah, for sure.
No.
Well,
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, as we've
you're good.
learned through this whole thing, there's no, I don't think anybody knows the right or
Yeah, there's
wrong
no
way
direct
to do
line.
these things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Everybody's just throwing it at the wall to see what sticks. So,
Yep.
huh?
Speaking of 3 hour gigs, I know it feels like you've been on here for 3 hours, but believe it or not, we've been here already past halftime. I wondered if you'd be comfortable giving us a little bit of an intro to Heart with a Hole, because that's the song we're going to play.
Yeah, man. So it was 2022 was like a pretty wild year for me. I got to like play. I just got a notification. Today was a 3 year anniversary of. I just had my 3 year anniversary of getting married like 2 weeks ago, and then the 3 year anniversary of going on the road and playing Highway 30 up in Idaho, and then right afterwards, I was very fortunate and got to go to Montana and play this big sold out show opening for Co, and it was like some of the most fun I've ever had in my life, and life was kind of peaking a little bit music wise in 2022, and rolled into the fall. Played a few really big shows, and I lost my dad out of nowhere. It was very unexpected and just kind of abrupt. So fall 22 was pretty uh, rough on me. I lost my dad at 62, and something about I just kind of sat down with the guitar, and this song "Heart with a Hole" is kind of what came out. It was always a song I had a little piece of, and didn't have the inspiration for it. You know, I was like happy getting married and
Right.
things like that, and then didn't really know how to process that loss. So it was a different kind of heartbreak song. Anybody can use it for whatever they want, but finishing writing that kind of put me in the studio with Josh, and was a kind of the beginning of a little bit of a catharsis and healing process for me. So
Yeah,
that was
absolutely.
Heart with the Hole.
Okay, we will
Hmm?
ask, Dustin, I'll ask you to hit the mute button so we can get a good cut of this. And here you go, folks.
All right.
Every night around the same time, I give in and drink till I sleep. They say it's no good, it'll catch me one day, but it's coming and helps me not to think. I've seen all the doctors and I shrank once before. They give me the same sad news. There ain't no cure for this pain in my chest, so I take the only medicine that I know how to use, and I pour one more and sit all alone, singing all the same sad songs. They say it'll kill me, but what do they know when you can't find a cure for a heart with a hole? No, they can't find a cure for my heart with a hole. Since the battle took your place, to me it feels like a life ago. A hurt so damn deep, a straight shot to my soul. Yeah, so keep on pouring till my heart overflows, and I pour one more and sit all alone, singing all the same sad songs. They say it'll kill me, but what do they know when you can't find a cure for a heart with a hole? No, they can't find a cure for my heart the same sad songs. They say it'll kill me. What do they know? When you can't find a cure for a heart with a hole. No, they can't find a cure for my heart with a hole. Heart with a hole. My heart with a hole. My heart with a hole.
Yeah, man. Good
Uh,
stuff.
are we sure the songwriter thing isn't number one on that pie list? It's pretty
every
strong, man.
every time I finish a song, it probably bumps up to number one on the depth chart, and we switch
Yeah.
them back and forth.
Yeah, it's really good.
Thanks, man.
Super impressive. I know we kind of touched on this a little bit, but a little bit of a break or hiatus or whatever you want to call it. What can you talk a little bit about what your future plans are looking like and kind of what we have moving forward?
Yeah, man. Like I said, into 2022, had to do some healing and kind of, you know, get my shit together a little bit. 23 played a handful of shows, and cut these tracks at the start of 23. There's three of them out there. It's on a Swimmer Sink is the name of the EP that has all three of them. But the plan was to release those three singles, and then I was going to release like this full EP that was those three singles plus three acoustic versions. It's kind of like this transition into showing everything didn't have to be so rock and roll. It could be a little more singer-songwriter driven, a little more fiddle, a little more piano, things like that. So I got with Drew Harkle, keys player. He played for Cody Jinks for a long time. He's an incredible solo musician. I mean, the dude is just amazing. I think he was he playing with me that night you saw us at Dan's? I can't remember.
I don't think he was, but we're friends with Drew.
Yeah,
so
Oh,
yeah,
sweet.
absolutely.
Yeah. He's
Okay,
okay.
well,
He's okay.
Dan's is one of my favorite places to play, and I feel like I play there 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
They've been awesome to me since I kind of, you want to call it like a little bit of a hiatus. There's just been a handful of places I've played the last 2 years, and they've, they've kind of been like one of my favorite ones. And I've played with Mickey and with Zach and different people over there. But Drew was on one of those shows. Lowdown Drifters, that was another one. So
Yep.
I just kind of like love getting back there. But
All
anyways,
the cool kids.
Drew, he's played a few shows with me on keys, which is like incredible. The dude
Yeah,
just
he's
like
amazing.
blows my mind.
Yep.
He doesn't know this, but like I send out the set list in the Apple Notes, and so I can see when the artists who are musicians are going to play with me when they open it and check the notes. And it's like the last time he played with me, we did the Dickies thing in the big tent after
Yep.
the stock show.
Yep.
And I like sent him the set list. It had some new songs on it, and some new covers and stuff. And I'm like looking, it's like the morning of, and I like told my drummer, I was like, Drew hasn't opened the set list yet, man. Drew shows up and it's just nails, like 11 out of 10, perfection. And I'm
He's
just like,
amazing. Yep.
I don't know why I even like think about this, but anyway, so played some shows with Drew, and he's got his own studio out there at the house. And I was like, man, I'm gonna go cut it with Drew because I want these three songs are rocking, and we did them with Josh, and we did them like a 6-piece band. So there's 3 guitar players, bass, drums, and keys on them. But I want to do something stripped down, and he's real tight with Jerry Reynolds, who plays fiddle for Mike Ryan. So we went out there and we cut these 3 songs over again. Heart with the Whole Swimmer Sink and Always Been This Way, just live piano, fiddle, acoustic, and vocals. Well, they came out really cool. The thing that I messed a few things up, and we did them live, and you couldn't really punch back in because you could hear everything else. We were trying to just knock out 3 tracks in an afternoon and have this really live kind of feel to it. And instead, last minute, I was like, I'm not going to put it out. I'm going to wait, and was also I'm girl dad, proudly wearing the shirt.
There you go.
I had a little girl in September, and the last single came out in September, I think it was. So we were going to release them, the whole thing last fall. And having a baby girl has been the best thing in the world. And I was just like, I'm not going to worry about it. And like last week, I texted Drew and I was like, "Hey, are we coming in at the end of this month to finish these tracks and then so I can release them?" So I got 3 acoustic tracks coming out that are gonna be just like stripped down acoustic guitar, just piano, some fiddle, and some singing on these 3 tracks. And then I have a handful since becoming a dad and in the last couple years that I've written that need to get fully done and dropped. And hopefully I get a new single out later this fall. And yeah, working with Ryan Klein at Goldtown Music and booking out some more shows. I got a couple cool ones coming up this month or in July, and a few more that are I think are going to get confirmed and announced. But
Nice.
be with Tyler Halverson down in Waco on the 12th of July. That'll be a lot of fun. I think he's awesome, and it's always a great time at Backyard Waco. And then the following weekend on the 18th, I'll be with Zach Wilkerson up at Sundown at Granada. And then working on a couple other shows in there that I think will be really cool. Just want to make sure I get that full on confirmation email before I say anything.
Absolutely. Well, shout out to you for all the new stuff coming up, but then also shout out to East Lake Studios, which
Yeah.
is Drew's studio, and then 2 of my favorite. I think Drew's in 2 of my favorite. I don't know if we call them tribute bands or cover bands.
Yeah.
The
Mid
Chixie
still.
Dicks and Men Still. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
awesome.
So we can't go without mentioning those guys.
That whole crew, man, is like
Amazing.
unreal.
Yep. Yep.
Shout out to them getting a shout out on the Shred with Shefty podcast too. That was
Oh, with
Yeah.
Vince. Yeah.
Yeah.
with
I don't know
Vince.
if you all saw
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
pretty cool.
Um,
Very cool.
well, I had a question. Oh, as far the song, heart with a hole. You know, sometimes when you got to sit there and you listen to that song or any song that people have us play, and you got to sit there and hear yourself back. Um, you know, you, I'm curious. One, what do you think about when you listen to that? What were you thinking about? And then two, when you play that song live, um, does it get heavy, or do you get proud, or you know what I mean? What kind of goes on? I know every day is different, but
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. You know, unfortunately, everybody's kind of got to go through. If things go the way they're supposed to go, everybody's got to go through it.
understand.
Um, I I've seen I feel like after shows now I probably I've got 13 original songs that are like out there, and then I have a few that I play that aren't out there yet, and then a few covers. But I would say since releasing Heart with the Hole and playing it live, I think it's the song that people mention after the show the most now.
Okay.
And it used to be Wannabe. I've got like the first song I ever released was called Wannabe, and there's a full band version of it. And it's funny, both of those songs, Wannabe and Heart with the Hole, I pretty much purely just wrote for my own self and my own healing. And they're probably as real as anything I've ever written.
Hmm.
And neither one was intended to. I wasn't thinking about anybody else listening to it when I wrote either one. And it's the 2 songs that I think people mention the most. And that's just kind of like mind blowing to me. The songs that like feel like, oh, I'm writing a good song that people are like, this is a song that people are going to like and jam to. They're probably the ones that get pushed down the playlist a bit. But I think a lot now about the healing aspect of like the connection with how many people seem to like Heart with the Whole. I mean, I don't say anything about like a parent or a dad or anything like that. It's just like heartbreak, and I was doing a lot of drinking at the time. I don't do much drinking anymore. But you know, um, my dad had a big bourbon collection, and somebody had to drink it in his honor. But I think a lot about like when I was listening to it tonight when y'all were
Hmm.
playing it. I was thinking about being at Dan's or being wherever where I've played it, and on stage, um, feeling like people are connecting with that song and getting a little bit of a reassurance of that afterwards. Usually, people mention it. The first couple times I played it, I bawled my eyes out on
Okay.
stage. But that was, I think people like real. I think
Y-
people like real. Even in the TikTok generation, TikTok world, the TikToks that do really well, it's people usually being like real and not dressing it up too much.
Understood, and I think people naturally gravitate towards it. Even like you said, you didn't expect it, but somehow they were connecting to it just because of being authentic, and there wasn't 14 writers on it, and
Right.
Yeah.
all these different things like that. So
I don't
that's
show
cool because I'm sorry, we just I asked that question, and everybody kind of has a different aspect, and that's different as far as you know. And we also asked, when you meet people at a merch table, how is that perspective from you? So that's cool that you are getting that when you play those opening spots, and they might not be familiar with your music, and then they come up to the table to talk about that, that song or anything like that. I'm
Yeah.
sure that's the point of all of it.
Yep. I mean, I don't show up at live shows to not feel emotion, so uh, I think other people hopefully are like me.
Yeah,
And,
for
I
sure.
mean, you want to feel something, right?
That's what
So
you remember for sure
yeah,
I,
about
I I
shows.
I try really hard to think about the show as for me, like I'm nobody, but I get to do some like really cool things, and I get to play with um it's like if you can like define your expectations in music or anything creative wise, it could be podcasting, whatever it is. It's like, okay, I if I've played hundreds of shows, and a lot of them were opening for people. And man, I could probably count on one hand the times I was like, I don't really like the headliner that much, if that. It's like almost never happened that I wasn't like a fan of them as a person or as an artist or both. And it's like everyone I get to support, I would have paid money to go to that show. And so I'm this huge music fan that now gets to like my role at that show is if it's in a support role or a headlining role, it's like my role is to do my job behind the microphone on the show. But like it's just like the show isn't me. The show is all of us being there together and like connecting over this stuff. There's I try to be like really open about like yeah, I'm nobody, but like somebody who wants to do music and is scared to do music probably is like, well shit, that's badass that you're like doing music. I want to open for Zach Wilkerson or whoever.
right.
And it's like, we just like connect, and then hopefully that just like, you know, helps them to do that, or whatever the hell their music is, whatever their thing is. But you
Totally
know,
get it. Yep. Totally makes sense. All right. Well, weirdly, we are approaching the end of the podcast. I hate to say that, but we do have a rapid fire. So if you
no,
are
let's go.
ready,
Yeah.
we're gonna fire off a few questions. What's something that you purchased more than once?
Purchased more than once. Guitar strings.
All right. Fair enough. Good answer. Um, dinner with one historical figure,
One historical figure.
dead or
Um,
alive, either way.
Dead or alive, historical figure. I think I want to go dead or alive. Oh, that's tough. Musicians don't count as historical figures.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
They do?
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Oh man,
They do here.
BB. BB. I wish we had
Okay.
time to tell you my story of meeting BB and him hugging me. It's wild.
All right.
Uh,
Well, we got
Yeah,
time. So
we
yeah.
have time.
uh,
Quickly.
okay, real quick. Botanical Gardens, Colorado. I'm at Colorado State. BB King right before he died. I want to say he died like 5 months after this. I go to a BB King concert. I might have had some brownies that made it a really good time. And I'm laying in the grass and I'm watching the show, and I'm wearing this fishing hat that I got. I wish I had it with me. It's in my closet somewhere. Like a $10 fishing hat as a joke that somebody who eats weed brownies is going to probably buy at a gas station when they live in Colorado. And BB King at the end of his show calls me up to the stage because of my hat. And I'm like, what is happening? And I have a picture, it's on my Instagram, I think, of BB King leaning down. This dude was like golf carted up there because he couldn't even walk. Leans down and switches me hats, gives me his fedora and wears my hat on stage, and like gives me like a dap it up hug, asked me if I play music, said keep the blues alive, and like waved to the crowd in my hat. And then afterwards, his like bodyguard that's like in a zoot suit comes and finds me and is like, hey, I'm gonna need that hat back. This is a cheap hat. We need Mr. King's hat, and made me switch him back. So I got BB sweat in my closet.
Wow.
Anyways, I would want to
Impressive.
have. I would want to have. I think I'd want to have dinner with BB King. That would be
It's a
incredible
great
to me.
answer. All right,
Mm-hmm.
very good. So I only ask this of people that I've seen play live, and I've seen you two or three times now. Um, what do you see when you play?
Usually, the inside of my eyelids. I'm thinking about people and times. Every song I go there.
Okay,
If I'm playing Heart with the Hole, I'm thinking about my dad. You know.
for sure. Makes
Okay.
sense. All right. You've seen a few green rooms in your life. Tell me what your ideal green room looks like.
Ideal green room looks like a comfy couch, man, and a fridge somewhere that has a lot of. At one time I would have said beer, but cold water.
All right, that's good. Good answer. Um, first concert you paid to go see, and then your favorite concert.
Oh my gosh, that is so hard. It's gonna be close to my favorite concert was 2015 New Year's Eve at the Forum with John Mayer and Dead and Company,
Oh
and
wow.
Bill Walton came out and knighted him with a lightsaber on stage to be a true member of the Grateful Dead. That was incredible. That's gonna fight for favorite concert ever,
Okay.
or back-to-back nights. Uh, Ryan Adams and the Cardinals at Red Rocks.
Ooh.
That was pretty awesome. And you said first concert ever?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
first concert.
That's the toss-up. One of those is my favorite. And then the first concert I can remember going to, I think it was Stony LaRue,
All right.
and I think I was like 14 or 15.
It's like a Velvet era, or
Uh,
before that.
yeah, no, it would have been Velvet was the second record after Live at Billy Bob's.
Yep.
Yep, that's when it would have been. Yeah.
Ah, man, so good, so good.
The
All right.
Arsenal, dude, they were incredible then, and
Yeah.
anybody could get into a show to see anybody in Stephenville, Texas,
Yep. Shout out to Stephenville.
at the time.
All right. Bucket list venue in the state of Texas. Bucket list venue outside of the state of Texas.
Like for me to play.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, state of Texas. Probably uh, all of the most awesome venues in Texas are they're like Blue Light and Green Hall and things like that. Cheatham Street. Those are the ones, and I've been fortunate to play those. Probably Whitewater Amphitheater
Yep.
would be
Pretty cool.
probably because whatever that's going to be is going to be a bitchin' show. And then Red Rocks is the bucket lister.
Okay.
Nathan, my drummer, who you know, he has
Yes.
played Red Rocks now with Tennessee Jet opening for Jinx, and he lets me know it.
Yeah.
But he says we'll play it one day.
All right. Happy birthday to Nate. I think he had a birthday recently, so shout out to Nate. All right. This one's not really controversial, but tribute bands, yay or nay?
Yay!
All right.
Yay! Why not?
All right. Very
Mint
good.
Still, come on. We've already
Yeah.
talked about the Chixie Dicks.
I know. I feel like I tainted that question, but all right. I'm gonna ask one more. One fictional character you'd like to have as a friend.
Yoda.
Oh,
We've been on a little Star Wars tonight accidentally.
Answer
Okay.
great, that is.
Yeah, there you go.
Ah,
Hey.
ah.
all right.
That's on
That
a
is
long
the
work
end
day
of.
too. I come up with that. So
Well played, Soul Gravy.
Thank you.
That is the end of Rapid Fire. Folks, thank you all for joining us tonight. We appreciate you being here. Special shout out to Dustin for joining us. We made it through the technology challenges.
Yeah, that's all on me, but
No,
man,
I don't
thanks for
think
bearing
so.
with me.
No. Thank you for being here.
that's what sound check is for.
Yeah.
Make sure you go follow Dustin wherever you steal music, whether that's Spotify, YouTube, Apple,
Napster, LimeWire.
Shazam, Napster,
Exactly.
yeah, wherever. Go follow my man. We do sincerely appreciate it. But before you leave, we have one fairly important question we need to ask you.
That's right. All right, so as always, this started as a joke on episode 1, and now it is a requirement that we ask this question. So, Dustin, what is your favorite Little Debbie snack?
Oh man, it's got to be powdered donuts. Powdered donuts count as a Little Debbie snack?
That might be a
I
hostess.
think it's
Oh, it is a Hostess.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
It's okay. No, it's all right.
it's terrible.
What are the
There goes the sponsorship.
damn it, the chocolate ones with the filling? What are those?
The
Is that Little Debbie?
the
Swiss rolls?
log-looking things.
No. They're
Fudge
man.
rolls? No.
I Little Debbie wants nothing to do with me.
Man.
Well,
Just-
well, to be fair, a listener and friend of the pod, Doc McStuffins, sent me a video the other day, and Little Debbie, apparently in Texas, has really grown their arsenal because they now have cupcakes with the swirls thing too. So,
Oatmeal cream pies. It's got to be that. It's got to
There
be
you
that.
go.
There you go.
We have a winner. Ding, ding,
There we
ding.
go. I'm trying to think. I'm like crossing up all my my naughty snacks.
It can get confusing, but
yeah.
y'all, thanks for joining us. Dustin, thanks so much for being here. See you tomorrow
man.
night, folks, 8 p.m. Central Time.
Really appreciate you guys. You're awesome. Keep doing it.
Thank you.
Thank you.